Okay, we're back, and we are headed to the Temple Canton to talk to Maramilo. I would have started where I left off, but I started a recording, and a vast virus database decided it was going to talk in the middle of it, so fuck that. Anyway, couple interesting things of note while we're here. This is the Temple Canton. It's a pretty big canton. That is I'm pretty sure it's the Ministry of Truth. I think. It always sounds like something from Harry Potter to me, so I sort of get confused. Let's ask about Vivek. Ministry of Truth, yep. It is the Temple Prison. What happened was that a moon started falling to Earth. There's a whole bunch of lore related to it. And Vivek, the god, stopped it, and then they hollowed it out and made it into a prison, which is sort of a weird thing to do with a moon, but hey, whatever. This is where Vivek actually lives, in this temple over here. We won't be going over there, because you can't actually get in without permission from the temple or a really good lockpick, and you really don't want to break into a god's house, because that's kind of crazy. That's what he looks like, though. I'm pretty sure that's Vivek. And I think that's him slaying somebody or other. So, we're going to want to find Maramilo, but not cause a whole lot of, we don't want to talk to anybody about her, really, because she's not supposed to be talking to people like me, which would be an outlander. Never mind that I play a character who I made up, who is not an outlander, but whatever. Not my problem. Okay. Maramilo, found in the Hall of Wisdoms. That's the library. That's not where we want to go. The Temple Canton's a little bit confusing, so don't feel ashamed or anything if you can't figure out where you're going. That's fine. It happens. Well, we're in the Hall of Wisdom. Isn't that sort of inconvenient? Maybe she's in the Library of Vivek. Let's check. Oh look, here's Maramilo.
There's someone watching out. I can tell.
Yes, I'm Maramilo. Kaya sent you? Follow me into the back of the library. We can't talk here. So then you follow her. Doop-a-doop, boop, boop. Doop, doop-a-doop. She walks kind of slowly. Go ahead. I'm afraid I don't know anything about a sixth house cult, but I can tell you about the Nerevarine cult. Yes, please. The temple worships Nerevar as a saint and hero, but prophecies of his reincarnation are punished as wicked heresy. The Nerevarine cult claims the tribunal are false gods, hence the temple's persecution of the Nerevarine cult. A group called the Dissident Priests disputes temple doctrine on the Nerevarine prophecies. The prescribed book, Progress of Truth, describes their beliefs. Get a copy of Progress of Truth for Caius Cosares. That will tell him things he needs to know about the Nerevarine cult. Dissident Priests? Let's ask. Shall we? The dissident priests dispute temple doctrine and are outlawed and persecuted by the temple. Ordinators arrest and imprison heretics, and the Empire cannot interfere. Wow. Progress of Truth insists... I'm really having trouble reading today, aren't I? Progress of Truth lists their beliefs. In brief, they challenge the purity and divinity of the tribunal, suggesting their powers are sorcerous, not divine, and perhaps akin to the powers of Dagoth-Ur. They also condemn the arbitrary power of the ordinators and accuse the temple hierarchy of self-interest and corruption. Progress of Truth. We need to get this book, so do you know where we can find it? This book lists the disputes of the dissident priests with the tribunal temple doctrines. The temple has outlawed the sale or possession of the book, so it will be hard to find. We have a copy here, but I fear I'm being watched by ordinators here. A safer plan would be to search local booksellers. Some booksellers ignore temple bans on outlawed books for profits or for principles. Incidentally, there is a bookseller around here that has this book. How convenient for us. You can ask her some more questions, but she basically just tells you what you already know. So we're going to want to go find a copy of Progress of Truth. Which, like I said, is actually pretty easy to find, because there's one in Vivek. So get out of the Hall of Wisdom, which will be very complicated. I hate it here. It's It's so maze-like. Yes. So you'll want to go back to the foreign quarter. Because, if you recall, we took Hulia to a bookstore called Joe Bosch's Rare Books, and incidentally, he has a copy of The Progress of Truth. Oh, there's something to note. Over there is the capital of the Imperial... I guess it's sort of the capital of the Imperial, settlement, sort of. It's called Ebonheart.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
We want to go to Walu. Sure, why not? I just think it's kind of interesting that Ebonheart is so close to Vivec, which is sort of the capital of Vardenfell. I don't really think it's technically the capital of Vardenfell. I don't know that Vardenfell even has one. It's certainly not the capital of Morrowind, which I believe is Mournhold, because that's where the king lives. Anyway, so we go back to the foreign quarter. There are other places you can find Progress of Truth. You can steal it from the library that you were just in, which is kind of dicey because there are ordinators everywhere, and trust me, if there's one guard you really don't want to arrest you, it's an ordinator. But the easiest way is just to go buy it from Joe Bosch's Rare Books. So here we are. Joe Bosch's Rare Books is this away, I believe. Yep. There are also some apothecary stores around here if you really, really need to be getting some potions or anything. There's Hulia.
Share your thoughts.
You can talk to him again if you really, really want to. There's an ordinator. So don't steal from this guy. You can, but I wouldn't recommend it. It is actually a pretty good idea to read a lot of these books just for the sake of being a more educated individual. I like to read all books that I run into just because it's good practice, but that's just me. Okay, barter. You can find it in here. Of course, it's going to be pretty hard to find because, you know, you've never seen the book before. They're not really organized. I guess they might be alphabetical? No. No, they're not. But, incidentally, pretty sure he keeps them in this chest. No, he doesn't. Maybe it's in this chest. Nope. He keeps them in one chest. I know I've seen it. The Old Ways. I thought it was a green book, but I could totally be wrong. Especially since I got all these new covers for books. So, I don't know where it is. Which means we're gonna have to look through this list. Which is super Progress of Truth! Look, there it is! Yay us! So it's 159-ish. It might be more or less depending on how much Joe Boscha likes you. So, we got it! We're done with this quest. We're gonna want to go back to Balmora. I would fast travel with the VTA rings, but you know what? Let's not abuse that power. We can fast travel out of Vivec pretty easily without doing that, so let's not be lazy. I just went around the wrong way. I feel kind of stupid. Okay, so we'll want to go back and report to Caius and see if he has any new orders once we turn these in. And, so there's the Stilt Strider. Not over here. This is a path to the boats. There's a little dock over there. So if you need to sail anywhere, that would be where you want to go in Vivec. There are two ways to fast travel in Morrowind. There's Stilt Striders, which will take you mostly along the western coast of Morrowind and in a couple other places as well. Boats will take you basically around the coast. So getting to some places is a lot harder than others. But for the most part, you can use those as pretty easy fast travel. It's not like Oblivion, where you can just look on your map, click a place, and BAM! You can go there. Or Skyrim has that too, I think. Morrowind did not do fast travel well, and that's why people usually put mods in, because it feels a lot bigger because you're forced to walk everywhere, but it's also annoying as fuck and takes an eternity, so I really don't blame anybody who doesn't want to walk everywhere. So we're back at Caius Quasade's house. Here he is in all his shirtless glory. Are you here to discuss your orders? Same thing as always. I have your report, and I'll make copies of your notes from Hulia and the progress of truth. Give me time to read and digest all this. In the meantime, I'm promoting you to journeyman. You're doing good work. And here are 200 drakes. Go out and treat yourself to a new pair of shoes. And do some jobs for the guilds or other freelance work, just to keep your cover story current. Or get some training. Then, when you're fit and rested, come back, and I'll have new orders for you. Well, I don't actually want to do any of that stuff, so how about orders? Gross. He'll tell you that you can't do orders right now because he has to think, unlike the last time he said he had to think and then had orders for you immediately afterwards. So you can go do stuff if you want, but I don't really want to, so we're just going to wait about a day and see if a journal entry pops up saying that Caius is ready for us. Nope. Let's wait one more day. We'll give him ample time to think. I think 2 days is just about enough for anybody to think about this kind of shit. So, yeah, alright. How you feeling now, Caius? It's been 2 days. For us, it's been seconds, but for you, it's been 2 days. Yes, excellent. He has orders for us now. We need an Ashlander informant. That makes sense, since we've been looking up all this Ashlander stuff. I have heard of a fellow in Aldrune named Hassar Zain Subani. An Ashlander who left the Wastes to become a wealthy trader. They say the Ashlanders like to give and receive presents. Take these 100 drakes, find out what Zain Subani likes, and get him a gift. Then give him the gift, and see if he will tell you about the Ashlanders and the Nerevarine cult. Then report back to me. So we have to go on another little fetch questy thing. Aldrune you can get to by Stiltstrider, so just head on over to the Balmora Stiltstrider. Aldrune is the first place you'll go that isn't really in the south of Vardenfell. It's farther north, and it is... I can't remember the actual region. It's not Ashlands, but there's a region as you head farther north where you start to get ash storms. These are these awful dust storms made of a blighted, gross, disease-ridden ash from Red Mountain. No one really knows why, but the volcano has started acting up in Morrowind and causing these ash storms, and so I don't know why green smoke comes out of there. Anyway, and so these ash storms have been plaguing people who live in this region. We aren't here during one, but during an ash storm it's really hard to see. Most people are walking around with hands over their faces. They've kind of gotten used to it because it's been happening for, I assume, a couple months. But anyway, it's kind of a shitty situation, this whole ash storm business. Okay, so I don't actually remember where Hassar is staying. He might be down here. Let's see if he is. Nope. There are 2 inns in town, and he's staying at one of them. This is the Rat in the Pot. It's more associated with the Thieves Guild. So we'll want to go to the other one, which is... can't remember the name of it. Something a little less skeevy. This... Nope, those are the guilds. Wow, I'm really hungry. All I've had to eat today is like gummy bears and some cereal. I are healthy. Rat in the Pot. Guild of Mages. Guard Tower. Did he say in the journal? No. I guess we'll just ask around. Maybe someone knows who this guy is. Nope. Okay, that didn't work out as I had hoped it would. So you'll just have to find... That's a trader. You can recognize places by their signs. This could be it. Altscar Inn. Yep. I have a mod to make signs more unique for inns and such, so it's easier to tell where inns are. This is Hasauer Zainzubani. Don't talk to him yet. Talk to somebody else. How about Merthieri
What's this regarding?
Lalip? That's the weirdest fucking name I've ever heard. Do you know anything about him? Okay. Apparently not. Okay, well, they're all gonna tell me where he is. So, I don't really... He's a trader and a wealthy one. He has his own room here. He was born an Ashlander and knows their speech and custom, and has grown rich by trading with them for things prized by Westerners. Is that what you wanted to know? It's not, actually. Can you tell me any more? No? Okay. Damn it, I know what he wants, but he'll be downstairs reading. Okay. Huh. Reading, that's interesting. What does he like to read? Here's something interesting. He likes to read. The thing you want to get him is a book.
I'm listening.
However, you can give him his own book, and he won't actually notice. I'm not going to, but let's see if we can, you know, poke through his stuff and find something he likes. The 5 Far Stars. Red Book of Riddles. Ashland Hymns. I bet this is his room, huh? Words of the... You know? He probably already has one of these books, but let's go ahead and buy him one of them anyway. So, when we come back, we will go buy a book for Hasauer Zainzubani and get him to tell us about the Nerevarine cult.